Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my partner in crime, Kenny Varner. Kenny V, how the heck are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am doing well, and we're pleased to have Mifflin County boys cross country coach Greg Loht here. We are going to talk about the Big Valley Invitational, the opening of the high school cross country season for the Huskies. We were going to make it a cross country bonanza tonight, but Neil Brenneman couldn't make it, and Jeff Miller, we didn't know that Juniata actually had a meet scheduled for today. So we will have them on some other time, but we're happy to have Greg. Greg, how you doing, my friend? You got your volume, you got your mic off. We need to get your mic on. Can you hear me, Greg? You have no sound. I'm not hearing you at all.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
So how you doing, buddy?
Other than being technologically illiterate or whatever, I'm doing all right.
No, it's cool. We love BVI. You know I do. Every year, I mean, it just kicks things off. You've got all your top teams in District 6 rolling in, AAA, AA, single A, everybody. You gotta love it too, being a longtime coach and runner like you are. What are your thoughts on BVI in general?
Oh, we love it. It's a good opening for us. It's a home meet. It's a big deal meet. It's one of the top meets in the state. A few years ago, they moved districts out to Forest Hills, out near Johnstown, and we lost. There was teams that a few teams each year were dropping out, not coming to BVI, and I don't know how many years ago it's been now. 4 or 5 years ago, we got districts back, so a lot of teams want to come and they get a chance to experience where they're going to run districts. And from districts, you get to go on to states if you qualify. So a lot of coaches like to have their teams run. Here comes a helicopter. So there's the outside.
But hey, it's cool though, because like you said, top teams. You got, Forest Hills, the girls come.
Right.
Powerhouse team, Penns Valley, both boys and girls. State College, both boys and girls. So Juniata boys, it's a great competition, isn't it?
Yeah, the kids. It's amazing. The kids we get in, they're top performers in the state. Every year we have state medalists that are coming in. Very good, very good draw that we're bringing in these top competitors.
Now, I saw it's supposed to be around 84, 85 on Saturday. That's a little hot, isn't it, for running?
Yeah, that's hotter than most of our races, we start with the junior high race, and then we go JV boys, JV girls, and then varsity boys, and then JV girls. So hopefully we can get a lot of the races in before it gets too warm.
Yeah, because I don't have to tell you how BVI is. Sometimes you can go there in September and it's like 40 degrees, or else it's pouring down rain.
Yeah, I was wondering if the hurricane was going to affect us.
I know.
I wanted to check that out. I really didn't have a chance to check the weather yet for Saturday, but that was something I had on the to-do list for tomorrow.
I just checked before we came on, and it said sunny and 84 or 85.
Well, that'll be nice for the spectators, but
not for the runners.
Not for the runners. It's not ideal. No.
So, tell me, coming in, how has your practice has been leading up to BVI with your guys?
Well, I had told you my oldest son was in the military. He retired from the Army. He was stationed up in J-Bear. It's a joint base between the Army and the Air Force up near Anchorage. He was stationed there, and his wife and he loved it, and they ended up buying a home up there. And he retired from the military. They moved back up to their house, and he won a lottery draw for a Dall sheep hunt. So he invited me up. So I actually missed the last week of in the summer season and the first 2 weeks of this season. So that's right. You were in Alaska. Yeah, I got back Friday night. Saturday we did our time trial. I made it back for that, and I'm just sort of catching up with the boys, getting back into the swing of things. It's don't get old. To be one thing of advice, but I think the jet lag is playing with me a little bit. I'm feeling better every day. I've been to practice all 3 days. Today the kids did a workout and they look phenomenal. So we're young, but I think we I don't know if this year with we have 2 seniors up front, and then we go to a junior, and then we have a sophomore in the mix there, and then we have a couple of freshmen. Yeah, before I get to that now, I forgot about that. How was Alaska, man? That must have been awesome. It was incredible. My son is a real go-getter, and he had this plan for us, and we went like 10 minutes from his house, and then we walked over one mountain, and it was like 6,000 feet, and then down and then up to get to the hunting area. It took us 3 days to get to the hunting area. I almost fell off the mountain, which wasn't a very pleasant experience. No. But then as soon as we crossed the mountain, we started seeing sheep, and the sheep has to have a full curl with their horn. And if you shoot one, it doesn't have that full curl, it's a $10,000 fine. Ouch. So you got to be a little bit hesitant on pulling the trigger. We saw this first one, and it walked within 60 to 80 yards of him. And he was saying he could shoot out to 1,000 yards with his rifle. But he looked at that, and he was counting the rings. They get rings similar to like a tree on their horns, so you can count these rings, and if they're over 8 years, then you can shoot them. So we seen that. We saw the big one, and there were some smaller sheep with it. But it rained, and it was the hike, and I'm carrying 40 pounds on my back. So it was quite the experience. We went to another area, then we were out overnight for a week, and then we went in a night, and then we went back out. And the second place we went to, we were seeing 50 sheep a day. Wow. They were mostly females and young rams, not big enough to shoot. But it was nice. I mean, my son up in Alaska, we're lucky if we can see each other, in person like twice a year. So it was nice, real nice spending time with him, having that opportunity to do that. But I really enjoyed it. I took my niece's son along. He was only 21, so we made him the pack horse. So he did a lot of the carrying for us. He was carrying 75 pounds. My son was carrying 80 pounds, and going up and down those mountains, it's quite an experience.
I bet. And also what you said, don't get old, it's too late. I already am. You are older than me in age. You're older than me in age, but not body-wise.
Yeah.
I'm living proof that you should take care of yourself when you're younger.
No, if I was going downhill or level, I was, okay, keeping up with those guys. But as soon as we'd hit an uphill, it was like low gear. I'm coming. But then we saw this one time, or one place we were at. My son wanted to hunt on this other side of this mountain, and there's like a glacier over there, so he wants to hike because that's where the big ones are supposed to be. They like the rugged terrain, they like the high altitude, and they like ice. So he's looking through a spotting scope, and he says, "Oh, down there's a grizzly. It has 3 cubs with it." And a minute later, he said, "Over there's another grizzly, and it has a cub." He said, "I think we'll hunt over this way."
Yeah, stay away from the cubs.
Yeah, so we had seen probably 10 grizzlies altogether, different places, and I don't know. They saw. I stayed at the camp the one day when they went out to hunt, and they saw a black bear, and I guess those are the ones you need to be wary of. Grizzly bears, you can stand up and be tall and yell, and they don't want to get fight. But the black bears, they're more aggressive, so you have to be careful.
I see. So, you might not have been with the team a lot, but you do know this team. It helps, doesn't it, that you've had so many guys back that, have ran BVI. Caden Bell was 12th last year. Cody Foltz, Stiers, and Hart Oden, Cubison, and I assume Wyatt Kaufman, who was second in the junior high race last year, is going to be running in your top 7, right?
Yeah, we had some things going on this summer, and last year was kind of a weird year. Different injuries and just freaky stuff that never happens. So we have all those kids back. Coy Arndt is running right behind Wyatt. He's another freshman, real talented kid. So we're looking forward to see what they can do in the varsity race. We did the time trial last week, and I got the times that they ran as freshmen for 2,500 meters, and they're running faster for twice that far for running 5,000, and they're cutting their time. So I think that's exciting, just from a coach's point of view.
Oh, absolutely. And last year your best finisher was Caden Bell. How is he looking right now? I know it's very early in the season. You haven't even started a meet yet, but how has he looked to you?
Oh, he is looking great. We ran out to Yeagertown today and did a workout. So the kids ran. I looked on a map measuring device online, and it was like 1.79, and one of the coaches had their watch on, and they said it's 1.99. So we're almost going out 2 miles. And then I had them run up the hill up to from the back side up to the I think that's the I forget what church that is up on top, where the dairy school was years ago.
Yeah.
So they ran up there and back a couple times, and Caden looked very good. I mean, he's just very strong, very fit. So it'll be exciting to see what he does on Saturday. He had some different issues last year, and it looks like everything's behind him from last year. So I was hoping for better things for him last year, and just the way it turned out. He was running, started coming back. He came back pretty well in track in the spring. But last fall, he had a time of things.
Do you have does it depend on the kid? Do you have a certain strategy you think everybody should run, or is it at BVI how they should go about it, or is it tailored to the individual?
It's an individual race. Sometimes you can go out. I mean, some of the kids, Wyatt and Coy are right next to each other. So if they can go out and they can work together, pull each other along, because at different times one of them might feel a little bit better, and if he can encourage someone that's starting to, if one of them starts to slow down, or the other, come on, we can do this. Stick with me, run behind me for this next little while. And then a little bit later, it might just be the opposite. The other guy's feeling a little bit better. So you can work out, run them with somebody like those two. Caden, we'll probably want to send him out with the leaders, or maybe hold back that first mile a little bit, and then go after them later in the race. But they're out there, and I mean we can. Work on the strategy before the race. But, once the gun goes off, they're on the road. There's not much, I can do. The coaching was all done this summer. They got to work in this summer. Now they're ready for the fall.
We could trip State College, make them stumble on the way out.
Well,
my God, what was it last year? I think they scored 15 points.
Yeah,
That's sick.
They're a very good team. They have the numbers. It's, they'll come, and I think last year their numbers were down, and they only had 75 boys.
Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine a coach? We're down. We only got 75 kids.
Yeah. And it's, they have the opportunity. They can back off, or have their second team go to meet, so they can rest kids during the season.
Greg, we lost you, buddy.
He's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Are you there yet?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
hey, I know.
I think
little football guy.
Hey,
how you doing, buddy?
see, that's the problem with cross country. If you can tackle, you have a chance to win, but you're not allowed to tackle.
That's right.
What do you do?
So, hey, while I got you on, a little quick thought. What did you think of the Husky defense on last Friday? I know you're a defensive guy.
That's true, but I didn't see anything but the score. So anytime you score 6, you got something to improve on, because 0 is the goal. But
That's right. I knew you'd say that. I knew you would say that. But one thing I know you would have liked. They were very aggressive.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm pleased with Coach Breon, and he's sort of a new school guy, but he's got old school DNA. So I think defense comes first, so that's good.
Did you ever think of running? Did you ever think of running cross country?
Only when I got in trouble for not being able to tackle.
Oh my! It was good to see you, buddy.
So wrong to deserve to run cross country. I don't understand it. So.
Now, I don't understand the sport. I've asked Greg this before. I don't understand why you would want to do a sport where a lot of kids, when they cross the finish line, throw up.
Oh, we lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, I said I don't understand a sport where you cross the finish line, some kids do, and they throw up.
Well, we don't really encourage that. That's something we don't practice. But it does happen, yeah.
Greg, I'm not putting down your sport. You know I love it. It's a tough sport. It's not easy to run like that. But honest to God, I was up. Do you remember when States were at the Blue Golf Course at Penn State?
Yep.
I saw a kid, and I can't remember from the school. I'm going to try to be delicate. I could swear if I want to, because we're not on radio. But he crossed the finish line, and he vomited and crapped himself.
What?
And there was a brown trail going. And this is a state qualifier. I'm like, my God. What? Put yourself through that.
Well, some of these kids. Well, when you have the nerves, added just to what you're doing to your body. So you're changing the pH of your blood. You're running hard enough that your blood pH changed a little bit, so it gets more acidic, and that could cause you to throw up. Plus the nerves. So if you eat something that you normally do for breakfast, and then your nerves get in the mix, sometimes that doesn't mix well.
I got you.
It can go right through. So when I was in college, we were at an invitational, and this one team had white shorts on, and there was a guy that must have did a little bit in his pants. It looked like bacon in the back.
Oh God!
So that was,
how do you know? I mean, it's like I pity the poor kid. It's like,
yeah.
Here you are. It states there is hundreds and hundreds of people there, and here's this brown trail going down the finish line.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, it's fairly rare. You don't see that too often. You'll see kids throwing up. I mean, that's more normal. But coming out the other way, it's not.
No,
not something we see all the time.
That's what amazes me when I see kids like, Logan Strasser that was running like 15s and, and all that close to 14s, and he comes across and doesn't even look tired.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, and that's especially you go to the big meat states or especially states. You'll have anybody that gets to states has to be talented to get that far. They have to be good, and then you have the kids that are out front are just the whole different breed.
Let me ask you that then, because it's always been interesting to me. You're right. There's kids that go to states, but then there's kids at states that are above everybody else.
Yep.
How? What makes them different from everybody else?
Well, the number one thing with that, they pick good parents. I mean, it's genetic for a lot of that. You can't teach that. I mean, I just gifted them with, a bigger max VO2, be able to take in more oxygen, maybe a bigger heart, or just different traits that they're born with.
God gifted me with the ability to be a champion hot dog eater.
There you go. See, we all have our little gifts.
So your team, I know you run there anyway because it's out in Reedsville, but your guys are, you got Bell Fultz, like I said, the Odins, Cubison, they're all experienced now and they've ran this. That helps, doesn't it? That they know what to expect.
Yeah, when you run the course enough times, I mean, where every little hole is and every little bump on the course. So I think you can use that to your advantage. Take advantage of the I guess the nuances of the course. Each course is different. And if you've been on, and that's why a lot of people like to come to BVI so they can, their kids have that experience for districts, so they're not coming in blind. So most teams, I would say like 99% of the teams, if they go to a course before the race, they walk the course just so the kids can see what they're going to get into. And that's why, it's good if you can run a race earlier in the season. And we got to practice there all summer. So like the kids are experienced there. I think sometimes they get tired of running on the course, but I think just being on there and knowing the hills, I can run this part harder because I have a downhill I can recover on, is really going to help, and we can use that to our advantage this year.
Is that a good litmus test too, to see where you're at and against some of these bigger teams and what your goals were for the kids? You kind of get the chance to see a little bit of what to expect.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, there's some good teams here. Cross country is different in track. In track, if you run this course or in track, you're running 400 meters around the track, and the tracks are all similar, so you can compare times. Cross country, every course is a little bit different, so you can't go, it's exact thing. You're faster than you here. Maybe you had a faster course that was flatter, a little bit different. But it's a good test for us. We have the good teams coming in, and we can see where we're at with them. And it's a nice experience for the kids. We don't have to get up early to get there, and so the kids get to sleep in. It's the first week of school for them, so they have that. They can be a little bit tired. They can get better rest. To get up and have some breakfast before they go to bed. So we really appreciate BVI.
What regardless of places and that, what do you want to see from your guys? What'll make you leave Saturday happy?
It's always nice to have them compete. We want to see what our fitness level is. If we can compete, where the Altoonas are, where State College is, what do we have to do to be able to run with them when we get to the dual meet? What do we have to do to compete with them? So it's nice, to see the kids run the full 5,000 meters hard, not quit when things get hard for them in the middle of the race. If we can compete the entire 5,000 meters, it will be good.
Nice. Kenny, you got some questions? Some more?
Yeah, who do you are going to be looking for leadership-wise on the team?
Caden Bell and Cody Fultz are our two big seniors. They've been around for 4 years now. So it's nice to have their experience. They've been around the block a few times, so they could provide some senior leadership for us. Like I said, we're pretty young. Two of our top 7 are freshmen, two are sophomores, and then we have the 2 seniors and a junior. So we're a fairly young team. So we're going to need their leadership. I'm too old to keep up with them. I rode my bike the last couple of days when they went out on the road. But when they're running, it's up to the seniors to provide some direction to the kids.
The start is always so critical. I know how important it is down at the Parkview course, but how important is a good start at BVI?
It's the start at BVI. It's the first race. It's flat and a little bit downhill. So I think a lot of teams tend to go out too hard, and then you pay for that. It's 2 laps, and we have the hill that you go up after you do that first 600 meters. And then there's a hill there, and I think the second time, and it's steep, but then it goes on, and I think it's hard to see, and even when you walk the course, I don't think you notice that long uphill. So I think if we can control ourselves, get out right behind that main pack, and then work from there. I think you have to be careful at BVI. Once the kids get a couple races in, I don't think they're going to be going out quite as hard, or they'll be more ready to go out that hard. But the course is wide, so you have plenty of time to pass somebody if you do have a start that's not ideal. Plenty of time to catch up and work yourself back into position.
The other thing that's great about BVI is the crowd and the way the community. We do really around here in Mifflin County with the Striders and that. It's a community that really supports the runners in this area. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, it's great for the kids. I mean, we usually have good weather. So we have people from the football team come, different sports coming to support their friends. It's a pretty big deal for, the kids just seeing all the community sport and right when you're starting to feel pretty crappy and wanting to slow down, someone's there, keep going. And, really helps with the effort to keep them going. So that motivates the kids to a better time.
And also, can you comment on everybody that runs BVI? It runs so smooth and it's so professionally run.
Yeah, we call him Big Penny. Richard Pennypacker. He was a driving force. Bill Salava started.
Bill Salava, yeah.
Yeah, he passed away now a few years ago. But people are still doing it, in his honor. And Sam Bray is big. The school, I think they have the Key Club helping in different things, and our Booster Club helps runs a concession stand. But Tish McClay, the AD, she does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But it's the Kiwanis runs BVI. That's there. This isn't really our meet as much it is like the Kiwanis Club puts that on, and they get the trophies and everything for the top finishers. So it's really put together. They've been doing. I think this is the 50th anniversary for it. So it's been around a while, and the people, they're handing it down when the older guys are going, and they're handing it down to some good people that have helped for a number of years. So they have the experience, and it's really put together. It's that's one of the reasons why it's one of the good invitations to go to.
Are you excited to get the season underway?
I am. Since I've been back, I'm feeling better every day at practice. Just getting back into it, and the kids are excited. They're ready to go.
Can you I know you don't coach them, but since Neil couldn't make it, can you give me just a few comments on what do you think the girls will be like on Saturday? He lost a lot, Neil did.
Yeah. He has some new girls. There's some girls. We have a lot of sophomore in the time trial. I think most of the girls that finished in the top 7 are sophomores, and there's some a lot of inexperience there. There's a couple of girls that ran track, and then we talked them into coming out for cross country, and they made the top 7. But yet Mia Coffey, she's been looking good during the summer, and she's running pretty well now. So we expect her to be our number 1 girl, and then she's a sophomore. Ava Krotzer was 2nd. I think Lexi. Oh man, help me. Lexi Anderson. She's a bi-sport girl. She's also playing field hockey. She was 3rd, 4th out there. She is a junior. And then I think Cameron Shuey, she is a sophomore. This is her first year in cross country. And Mary Kanegi is a sophomore. This is her first year in cross country. So there would be your top 5 scorers. But they're working, they're getting better, they're figuring things out. I said practice yesterday about the one girl. Her mother called her first day of summer practice, and she said, "Is this just for the kids that ran before? Because I heard you run 10 miles, And I said, no, we take everybody, where they're at to start them and get them going, and eventually we might get them that far." And here this girl Monday on the workout, she ran 7 miles. So that was quite an accomplishment from not being able to run and being sort of afraid to come out to get out 7 miles worth of distance.
Awesome. Any final thing you'd like to say, sir? We don't want to leave you in the dark out there.
Well, it is getting dark. Up in Alaska, it would still be bright sunshine. Didn't get dark till 10:30 up there. Then it was dark.
Wow.
But no, I think the kids are looking forward to it. I think this may be a growing year. I know Caden and Cody are gonna perform up front for us. But the younger kids, it's hard to take freshmen and sophomore and run against juniors and seniors. just this
Yeah.
maturity wise for the boys. But this is a team I like. I think they're going to be a team to watch in the coming years. Caden's put a ton of work in this year, so I think he's ready. I think he's going to be able to compete with the big boys, and it should be a fun year for us.
Awesome. Greg, thank you, sir, for coming on.
Thanks, Coach.
Come back, please, whenever you want to.
All right.
Take care and have a good
All right.
Saturday.
All right. Thanks for having us on.
All right. That's Greg Loht, the head coach of the Mifflin County boys cross country team, and they will be at the Big Valley Invitational this coming Saturday. That begins at 9 o'clock. Single A, double A, triple A. It's all good stuff. You got, I would be remiss since Jeff couldn't come on because of their thing, Kenny. We could talk about that a little bit. They're a team that won the boys title last year at BVI. Now they did lose Logan Strasser, two-time champ, and second was he second in the state in cross country.
Yes.
But they still have Joey Baumberger, who was sixth, Wyatt Stroup, who was eighth, Wesley Irisman 11th, Levi Zeiders 13th, and Ricardo Guante was 15th. I think they should be the favorite again.
Yeah, that's quite a core group coming back. You lose Logan Strasser, but you still have the rest of these guys coming back. And with Coach Miller, you never know when there's going to be another good runner coming up through the younger ranks.
Right, and then the girls double A for Juniata. Last year they didn't have a complete team, but they did have Jessica Baumberger was 12th, and then they had Haley Muma and Aspen Eby. But the one we want to talk about is Sylvia Brubaker. She won the junior high race last year, and if you remember, Kenny, Jeff Miller on here, their coach, bragged her up big time last year, saying that she could be the best girl runner in Juniata history.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and keep an eye out for her.
Yeah, she is going to be a freshman. As I said, she won the junior high race, so it's always cool. It's always cool. And some of the teams you cover, we mentioned State College, but Penns Valley.
Penns Valley, yeah, year in and year out.
They are always a cross-country power. Mm-hmm. And the favorite in single-way girls is probably going to be Liliana Smith of Penns Valley. Mm-hmm. And on the boys' side, we don't talk about them much because they don't have many sports, but Colin Samander is coming back for St. Joe's Catholic Academy. He was the champion last year in boys single A.
Nice.
So, there's a lot of good runners there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, Forest Hills has a great team. It's going to be fun. So if you can get out there and you're local, check out the BVI.
It's always a fun time.
So guess what? It's time to talk high school football.
Oh, week 2.
Hey.
Or is it week 1?
Yeah, it's like week 0 thing.
0 last week,
PFN, Pro Football News, gave their state rankings. They came out yesterday. We have in District 6 2 teams ranked in the top 10 and 3 are honorable mention.
Nice.
From District 6. And you'll like the honorable mentions. Let me show that. Here we go. In 6A, State College moved up 1 to number 4. In AA, Richland stayed at number 6. But honorable mentions, Bald Eagle area and Penns Valley, and in 2A, and in AAA, Central. Central was there last week in the preseason rankings. Bald Eagle and Penns Valley are new to the rankings in honorable mention. So Billy and the guys, Billy Splain, they have Bald Eagle and Penns Valley being a top 15 team because they rank the top 10, and then they have 5 honorable mentions.
And both those teams last week, both Bald Eagle and Penns Valley, really, really showed up to play.
Bald Eagle's the one I think. Well, no, we'll go right here. Let's go to the scores, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
They're right here. We led off State College a 49-20 win over Williamsport. They were breaking in a new quarterback, Eric Corkery, and he did okay, but they didn't, they have Dante Sheffy.
Yeah.
They didn't need him. Sheffy had only 110 yards on only 17 carries and 5 touchdowns.
I bet he didn't even get out of the third quarter without.
Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't. But what they did is this Corkery only threw 11 passes, but he had 188 yards and a touchdown. And Ty Salazar from last year, good receiver, had a big play. He finished with 3 catches, 139 yards, and a score. The defense giving up, not that Williamsport's terrible. Got to be a little concerned there from Lintoll, the defense giving up 20 to Williamsport. But still, this kid, only a sophomore, my God, Sheffy, he's got colleges drooling already.
Oh, I'm sure. I think he did by mid-season last year.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about there's people saying that, up there, State College, he's the best running back they've had since Larry Johnson. And that tells you.
That tells you all you need.
You know what Larry Johnson did.
Mm-hmm.
Mifflin County, a game you covered and a game I watched on the stream. Pretty dominant, 41-6 over Central Mountain. Pretty dominant on both sides of the ball. Eichhorn, great game, 10 of 14, 207, 2 touchdowns. You complete 71% of your passes. Jeez,
Oh, yeah.
Deacon Schaefer, though, had the game. 20 carries, 114 yards, 4 touchdowns. And a kid I want to get your comments on. Well, I'll get to him then, but you tell me your thoughts on the game since you were there.
Well, Mifflin County did just what Coach Breon said last week. They were hoping to get out very strong, and Landon Eichhorn couldn't have started any more perfect. He completed 6 of 6 of his, first 6 passes. So they were just dominating early and came very opportunistic on defense to start out. Hard hitting again. They have to make a few adjustments here and there with the defense, but it was a good showing in the first half, and then they were able to just not cruise, but they were able to just muscle out Central Mountain in the second.
Yeah, and the defense, you were right. I saw they gave up only 191 yards total. Owen Kipe, 12 tackles. Parker Kearns, 11 tackles. Avery Yarn had 6 tackles and a sack. So everything just clicked. The only thing I saw, and that's probably the first game, jitters. One thing that you could really criticize was the penalties.
Yeah.
But other than that,
well, I had taken a picture, and I didn't realize it till I got home, but this is how much of a team defense Mifflin County has. I have a picture of Central Mountain's big runner, Rocco Serafini, and he had 6 defensive people on top of Serafini. So there are a lot of gang tackling going on in that game, that's for sure.
Nice. Next, the biggie, the big one, the one that is proven that Bald Eagle area is big time now. A 17-7 win over Bishop Guilfoyle. You're talking about a Guilfoyle. Their program has won 5 state championships. They came into this honorable mention in the state, and Bald Eagle beats them 17-7. I'm going to talk about the guy we know is so good. Just a sophomore. Carson Nagel, 13 of 20, 189 yards and a touchdown. His big boy, Cale Burns, 5 catches, 86 yards. We were wondering who they were going to get to run with Trey Green graduated, but Cameron Dubbs had 71 yards and a touchdown on only 14 carries, but it was the defense that made the difference. Holden Guilfoyle to 7 points. Cam Watkins from his defensive end spot and Adam Lefevre at linebacker were all over the field making tackles. Just a great win for Jesse Nagel and the guys at Wingate.
Definitely. And what people don't know is Bishop Guilfoyle actually came out and scored first. So not only did they have to go up against a tough Bishop Guilfoyle team, but they also had to play from behind early on, which didn't seem to bother them because they were able to score in the second half 10 points to take the lead into the halftime.
Awesome. Great win for them. I can't wait to see. Hopefully they don't relax. You know, they could be going, oh, man, we beat Guilfoyle. Woo! And relax, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we're talking to Jesse Nagel for the preview for the Lock Haven Express. His team is a little salty after the way last year ended, the playoff loss to Penns Valley. So if there's a team that has a chip on their shoulder this season, it's going to be Bald Eagle.
Tell me AA in District 6 isn't tough. You have Bald Eagle, you have Penns Valley, you have Guilfoyle, and then Richland, who's ranked 6th in the state.
Mm.
That's tough.
It is.
Then one I thought would be closer. Bellwood, a traditional power, gets smashed by Penns Valley, 33-12. And if you follow us on the press box regularly, you know Kenny and I love this Ram team.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, get ready for this. I got these stats. Jackson Romig, 12 of 14. That's 86% completion percentage, 115 yards, 2 scores. And remember when we talked about them last week, who was going to step up with Miles Brooks graduating at wide receiver? You know, their big 3, only 2 were back. Well, John Meyer, 7 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 10 tackles on defense, and the defense had 3 sacks. But then you got the running back, Ty Watson. He really sucks. I'm kidding. You know, we talk about how good he is football and wrestling. 18 carries, 199 yards. 1 touchdown.
Wow.
Love that Ram team, man.
They're picking up where they left off from last season. Oh my, they're very dominating. And well, you have another big 3, it looks like, too.
Yeah, that is going to be fun. You know, remember last year, Penns Valley beat Bald Eagle area in the District 6 semifinals up in Wingate. So it's going to be fun when they meet again because they meet in the regular season too.
Right. And then last year it was Bald Eagle that took the regular season game.
Yeah, that'd be a game I'd like to see, definitely. So, yeah, and then we go to, look out, it's the Mounties. 35-7. Yes, you did. They crushed Huntington, 35-7. The Mounties, who we said won 2 out of their last 3 games at the end of the season, start off the year really, really great. Jacody Jones, you know they're a running team. We don't have to say anything about that. PO last year didn't pass much, but it looks like they found a quarterback. I'll get to that in a second. Jacody Jones, 17 carries, 107 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the quarterback, Zach Myers, last year, remember, Kenny, they threw like 3 times a game.
Yeah, it wasn't very much.
Myers was debuting as their starter, 7 of 11, 127 yards and a touchdown, but it was their defense. Alex Knapp, 10 tackles, and they finished with 2 sacks, the defense did, and an interception. Very impressive, Jeff Roman's team.
Oh, most definitely, and against the Huntington team that traditionally brings a tough team to the table. So, nice win, nice way to start out. Give the Mounties some little bit of things to cheer for and to maybe look forward to down the road.
Unfortunately, Bellefonte, right now it looks like it's going to be the same kind of season as last. No offense whatsoever. They were, now granted, Central is an honorable mention state-ranked team, but Bellefonte totally dominated 49-0. And the stats are really bad, Kenny. They finished with 127 total yards. That's it. 100 yards rushing and only 27 passing.
Well, this Bald Eagle team this year should have a label on it as build in progress. There's a new coach, a new style of play. As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's going to take a while. But I believe that they're going to get the chemistry, and they're going to return to their old form. It's just when you start off the season against a team the caliber of Central, and it's kind of hard to right the ship right away, so to speak.
Well, their leader on offense was Sherman Lowry, running back, 9 carries, 58 yards. So they got to get that defense going. And then Juniata, returning District 4-9 champs, but they lost a lot of people. They opened up. Wait till we preview this week's games, and you hear the schedule that Juniata is playing. Their non-conference games are freaking sick. All right, so they lost 56-21 up at Troy, and Troy is a team that was 9-3 last year. Went deep into the District 4 playoffs and had practically every kid back. So it's what you expected to happen happened. They dominated Juniata at the line of scrimmage. Juniata could not run the football. I mean, there are 2 guys that are going to be their starting backs. Seth Laub and Heath Hutchinson combined only had 54 yards. And they got to do better than that if they're going to win a football game. But Jasper Sheps, awesome player, awesome year as a freshman. My Lord, this kid's a good football player, Kenny. He had 6 catches, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of them a 73-yard touchdown. And on defense, he led the team from his linebacker spot with 9 tackles.
Wow. It seemed like last year, every time we talked about Jasper Sheps, he was intercepting or getting a key sack. Yeah, he's really starting to, he was last year, but he's starting off really well. And his name will be mentioned quite a few times before the season's over, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And we did have Wyatt Aaron Zeller, Waylon's brother. They moved him from running back to quarterback this year since they lost Carnegie to graduation. Didn't do bad. 9 of 19, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did have 2 picks. But it's the running game. You know that. That's what Juniata lives by. If they can't run, they're in trouble this year. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely agree. They do have some younger talent coming on. They got to stay healthy. And like you said, you're going to preview their next.
Wait till I tell you
yes.
I looked. Wait till I tell you they're not. Now, by the time they get to the Mid-Penn Liberty, that's going to seem easy. These first 3 games are absolutely brutal. I decided to look at their, when we preview this, to see their schedule, and I just couldn't believe it. All right, let's preview this week, shall we?
Sure.
The game of the week, no doubt about it, is in 6A. Honorable mention, Downingtown East, 1-0. I forgot to put their record in. Takes on number 4 State College, 1-0 in State College. The Downingtown East Cougars last week opened up with a 43-0 win over Penridge.
Wow.
And This is going to be a game Downingtown East out of the District 1 Philly area and State College. Both teams, an honorable mention, Downingtown East, that means they're ranked in the top 15 against State College. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, I think Sheffy is going to actually play the entire game this week. I think it comes down to the quarterback for State College, how seasoned he plays, if he plays, or how well he does. State College is going to bring the defense. I really think here again, State College is the better team. It'll be close, but I think it's going to be 31-28.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take 27-21 State College. I give it to them because of Sheffy and Downingtown East. That's a heck of a long ride up to State College.
Mm-hmm.
And I always am big on home field. Next, the Mifflin County Huskies 1-0 travel to Sunbury to take on the Shikellamy Braves. Shikellamy last week defeated Central Columbia 21-7. They have a good balance. They're young, too. Their starting quarterback, Brody Rebuck, threw for 146 yards and a touchdown last week. Luke Snyder, their running back, had 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. And a freshman wide receiver, Thomas Pollock, had 5 catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown. And the defense held Central Columbia to only 168 total yards. So it's not a bad. It's a better team than last year. Shikellamy, I think they went 2-8 or 3-7. Young, getting better, but I think Mifflin County. But if all they have to do is play even half of what they played against Central Mountain, and they should come away with this. I'm gonna say 35-7.
Okay.
Give me your thoughts.
I feel the same way. After Landon Eichhorn's performance and Deacon Schaefer, and there's a lot of intangibles. Isaac, Parks Gill, all had good games. Defense shined, and I think that they're gonna repeat like last year and go 2-0, and it's gonna be a 42-14 ball game.
Okay, so we got the Huskies 2-0. Next up, honorable mention, Bald Eagle area 1-0. Travels to take on the Central Cambria Red Devils. Also 1-0. Central Cambria beat Bishop McCourt last week 15-10. Grady Snyder ran for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. But listen to this, dude. They only threw for 52 yards.
Oh, wow.
They are a total running team. And I guarantee you right now, if you are one-dimensional against Bald Eagle area, you're going to get crushed. The way that offense can move. But, we talk about Carson Nagel, and rightfully so.
Yep, and with the way Bald Eagle started the season and how hungry and pissed off they were from last year, I think this is going to be a 56-0 blowout.
Wow, I'm telling you, people in Central Cambria are going to beat the crap out of you if you ever go down there. No, it's good. It's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be 38-14, Bald Eagle area. Central Cambria is playing at home, so I'll give them some love.
Gotcha.
Also, another good team. I love the Rams, LA and Penns Valley. The Penns Valley 1-0 takes on the Bedford Bison. 1-0. Bedford beat Westmont Hilltop 27-21. Their quarterback, Joey Huxta, 11 of 20, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their receiver, Cross Cassidy, just a sophomore, 5 catches, 64 yards, a touchdown. Cassidy, a really good wrestler for Bedford. And I know Pennzoil has to travel the whole way out there, but I smell another blowout. Bedford's the opposite of Central Cambria. Central Cambria can't pass, they run. Bedford can't run, they pass. They only had 54 yards rushing last week. Pennzoil's offense, just too freaking much.
Oh, I agree.
I think it'll be, I'm going to go 42-13, Penns Valley.
I'm pretty much with you. I was thinking 35-14.
All right. Next up, I said about how they're, well, I'm going to wait for them last, Juniata, because I want to tell you the schedule. Phillipsburg, 1-0. Oops, I got Pennzoil Bedford again. Never mind. Phillipsburg, 1-0 at Penn Cambria, 0-1. And we have I think they're the Panthers, right? Penn Cambria.
Yeah.
This is a team that's better than the 0-1 record. They went against Richland, 6th in the state, and only lost 26-21. Wow. That's it. They got all kinds of balance. They used the big plays, too. Carter McDermott and Gavin Harold, the receivers. Thomas Plunkett, running back. Brady Jones, quarterback, 3 touchdowns, 102 yards passing. They got it with the big play. I know Phillipsburg's doing great, but you have to go out there to Penn Cambria and play a team that gave Richland, a state-ranked team, everything it had. I know I went against PO last week, and it came back to bite me, but I'm going to go Penn Cambria in this, and I'm going to say 31-17.
Pretty much in the same boat as you are. I know the Mounties are an up-and-coming team, but they're still learning. You know, they're still taking their baby steps forward, where Penn Cambria seems like they're right where they want to be. I'm going to say 28-7 Penn Cambria.
All right, then we have the Red Raiders of Bellefonte, 0-1, taking on Chestnut Ridge, 1-0. Ridge led by two-way quarterback Nate Wyson. Last year, he led the team in passing and rushing. So they like to run the run option, and he's their main guy. I'm sorry, I can't. Bellefonte, just no offense, man. No offense. I don't think they'll get shut out, but I think it's going to be, I'm going to say 48-7.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Chestnut Ridge myself. Bellefonte is trying to turn the corner, but I don't think it's going to be this week, and I'm going to say it's going to be 35-7.
All right, finally, the Indians of Juniata, 0-1. They're at home. They are hosting Selinsgrove, 1-0. The Seals, honorable mention in the state in Class 4A. And they defeated a very good Delaware Valley team, 28-21. They're led by Tucker Teets, also a wrestler. He's a running back, 17 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Before I make my prediction, I mentioned about Juniata's schedule. Mm-hmm. They open with Troy, who went to the District 4 semifinals. They take Selinsgrove, honorable mention in District 4, in 4A. Next week, they take on state-ranked West Perry.
Wow.
Their first 3 games, Troy, Selinsgrove, West Perry.
Well, one thing you can definitely say about Juniata, they do not duck anybody, and they want to play the very best. That's for sure.
No. They should be playing a non-conference schedule like Penn State. I mean, no, it is rough. And God, Sorry, I got to go against the Indians. I think it's going to be, wow, I don't know. I'm going to say, I think they'll get some points. I'm going to say 38-20, Selinsgrove.
Okay, well, everybody listen. I'm saying it right here, right now. I think Juniata is going to pull the upset. It's not going to be pretty, but I think that Juniata has enough to pull off the upset, and I'm going to say it's going to be a 21-20 win for Juniata.
Wow, that's a biggie.
Mm.
I don't know if they gave up 56 to Troy. That's my only thing. They gave up 56 to Troy, and Selinsgrove is a better team than Troy. By the way, in case anybody doesn't know, Mifflin County is playing Selinsgrove next year.
Oh, that's nice.
That's going to be good. I think they dropped Shikellamy, and their non-conference is going to be Central Mountain, Selinsgrove, and Altoona.
Nice.
So that does it with the predictions, man. Hold on. We got to find out if you have any shout-outs. Do you?
Believe it or not, no, not this week.
All right, well, we'll play the music anyway because I like it.
Well, actually, I do.
All right, let the music flow, Kenny. All right, it's the shout-out with Kenny Varner.
Okay.
Tell me.
I have one this week. It was pretty impressive. It was Juniata girls soccer player Miley Landis. The Indians were trailing 2-0 to Mifflin County, and she just started to pester the front of the Mifflin County goal, and ended up hitting two goals in a matter of 6 minutes to tie the game, and eventually Juniata would take the momentum and take the victory at 4-2. So my shout out is to Miley Landis of Juniata.
Nice. Way to go, Miley. So what are you covering the rest of the week?
Oh my goodness. Where do I start? Okay. Tomorrow I will be doing a double whammy. I'll start off covering Juniata girls soccer again, down in Juniata, and then I'll travel to Bellefonte in the evening and cover Bellefonte volleyball. So it should be a very fun day. Hopefully my car will be up for the challenge.
That's right.
Friday, I'll be back down in Juniata. I'll be covering the Selinsgrove Juniata football game. Should be a good one. Get to see Juniata win in person. Then Saturday, I will be at the Big Valley Invitational.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I am doing. I'm actually doing things. Thursday, tomorrow, the 11th season of the Husky Hotline on Big Louie. I will be back. I missed last year due to health reasons. I will be back tomorrow night. I'll have Coach Shane Breon from the Mifflin County football team, and he's going to bring on about 3 or 4 players. I don't know who they are yet. We'll talk to. So I'll be back. Do you believe 11 seasons of the Husky Hotline?
Wow, that's crazy. But I'm glad you're back. It's going to be fun to see you back at where you belong. Thank
you. 11 seasons of the Husky Hotline, and I've been involved in 10 of them. I regret missing last year, but buddy, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and then after that, believe it or not, I'm covering Mifflin County and Shikellamy.
Nice.
I don't know why they want me to cover it when I can't go there, but I'm covering it. And then Saturday is BVI.
Mm-hmm.
The Sentinel one has me covering BVI.
Nice. Keep you.
Yeah, but you know,
Mm.
I mean, it is a little weird to try to. I'm going to be trying to cover a football game from by listening to the radio and keeping stats.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. But hey, you know, keeps me busy. But yeah, everybody, tune into the hotline tomorrow night. We'll hear about Breon and his players, what they think about Shikellamy coming up here, and their start to the season. We'll review Central Mountain, and then you know, support the sponsors who make it possible. You know, there are very few radio stations that even cover sports anymore or have a talk show. So support it so we can keep doing it, and we'll be back here next Wednesday with another guest.
Nice.
And you know, we're getting close to that 1 year celebration of this podcast, of this live stream. We got something special planned for our year anniversary of the Press Box. So can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. We're going to try some new stuff.
Yeah, we'll announce that soon. But in the meantime, thank you for listening, everybody. Have a great week. Great rest of your week and an even better weekend. And Kenny, any final words you'd like to say?
Just happy holiday weekend, everybody, and enjoy the good weather.
That's right. I forgot it was Labor Day. I really did.
It snuck up on us.
And I want to thank, I hope I'm saying that right, Joe Lee Gill for the like. Appreciate it. All right. So that's going to do it. For Kenny Varner, I'm Brian Carson. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you again next week. Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.